Appreciate you.
Give yourselves a hand. Getting out. 1969.
There it is.
I hear you. I was living in Philadelphia. First of all, let me back up. I was born here in Augusta, Georgia. And my parents looked at me when I was about 2 years old. And they said, this child got promised. So they moved me up south to the promised land. So we ended up growing up in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So in 1969, I graduated from Thomas A. Edison High School. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. My uncle gave me two options: Vietnam or California. I chose to join the Navy and went to California, as opposed to sitting back waiting on the draft to go to Vietnam. So I got to California, dental tech school, had a great time because I had to get out of Philly. There's something about Philadelphia that just didn't fit right for me. It was stifling, it was dirty, it was nasty, it was violent, it was ugly for me. I can't speak for you, for me. I knew that there was something else out here in this world besides North Philly. Got to this place called San Diego, California. Wow. Wow, you know, what a place. So went to boot camp there, 13 weeks of boot camp. Got out, had to go to dental tech school in San Diego. It was nice. Then they decided that they wanted me to go to the Naval Academy, so I went to Annapolis, Maryland, as dental staff. And then, strange thing happened. My father transitioned. So my mother had 2 young children. So I said, well, okay, I gotta go home, help my mother. So they said, they being the Navy, said, we'd rather lose you from Annapolis than the Navy. So we'll send you home. So I got transferred back to Philadelphia, believe it or not, in the Navy. I joined the Navy to get out of Philadelphia. And so here I am back in Philadelphia. And so my mother, bless her soul, when we brought my father down here in 1972 to bury him, went back home, and she decided to do a U-turn. I get transferred to Philly, she moves to Augusta. So here I am, commuting. I'm burning up. I-95 wasn't completed back then. So 95, 301, 301, 95. That was the route. 3-4 times a month I'm down there. So then, I was about to get out of the Navy, and I said, if I get out of the Navy, I'm going to stay in here in filthy Philadelphia, the city of brotherly hate.
Oh, man.
So I said, well, as the ancestors would have it, the Navy invited me back to San Diego. So I told my Uncle George that I was moving down here in 72. I told him, I'm coming home. Boy, you ain't coming. Yes, sir, I'm coming home. In fact, he gave me this ring in 72. And so I said, but I gotta go to California one more again. Let me get out there. Just something about California, just gotta go back one more again. So I went out to San Diego again. Now I'm old, I'm 21, I'm legal. E5, making money, I'm just as fine as you can be. Got my own car, got my own spot, and I'm just doing it. And then in 1976, I decided I gotta get out of the Navy. Because as a dental technician, they wanted me to get on an aircraft carrier. In fact, the aircraft carrier they wanted me to get on was the USS Forest Hall, which almost sunk. And we called it the USS Forest Fire. So I had a choice. I said, no, I got to go. So I got out of the Navy after 6 years. And my uncle said, well, okay, we'll send you to school. Uncle Sam. So living in San Diego at the time,
Yes.
if you're the resident of the state, tuition was free. So I enrolled in San Diego City College. By the way, my high school guidance counselor told me when I entered the 10th grade that I wasn't college material. So don't even consider college. What she suggested was consider possibility of getting out of high school and becoming a plumber's helper.
What?
So I did so well in the Navy, I said, well, let me see if I might make it in college. Freshman psych, they started talking about this neurosis and that psychosis. I majored in African American studies. This neurosis and that psychosis, that's me, there's my mama, there's my daddy. I think I can relate with all those various neuroses and psychosis. Continue getting this degree in African American studies, or I can get this degree in psychology. Well, I had to deal with me. So logic said take more psychosis. So I went and declared my major in psychology, went on and got my bachelor's degree, got my master's degree, and I promised my Uncle George I'd come home. It was a tough decision. Leaving San Diego, California, for Augusta, Georgia. San Diego, California, Augusta, Georgia. And I learned early on, there's only one thing I can give away and keep, and that's my word. I can give my word, and I gotta keep it. So I promised Uncle George I'm coming home. So I came back here in 1986. And it was rough. It was rough. I didn't read fine print. The New South wasn't ready for this old radical. So anyway, I came here and I did what I did. I navigated my way through the system. Yet I realized I could not continue to work in these positions that they want me to work in. When I was in the penitentiary, I came to realization I can't do it. When I worked in the penitentiary, excuse me, let me qualify that. Working in the penitentiary, I couldn't do this. I had to get out. So I ended up escaping 2 penitentiaries and a jail. The last penitentiary I was in, I could only do 6 months. I was up at Augusta State Medical. I had to get out. And as my life was going, I found out that I had to do things differently. I started writing way back in the 90s, and I ended up writing this book, and I wrote this book, and I wrote this book. And the more I wrote, the more I grew. And the more I grew, the more I realized I wanted to write. And so I had to get out of this system that I was working in, because I learned a long time ago that he or she that controls your stomach will always control your mouth. So I couldn't write the way I wanted to write and say what I wanted to say if you on these folks' payroll. So I had to get out. And so I've been out now for about 20 years, navigating myself through this system, doing what I want to do. I'm still that old school radical, but I learned to be a chameleon. So I could, but what I was going to talk about today, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to get chased out of here. So I learned that I have to be a chameleon. I learned that I have to blend in. I learned that I have to understand that what's out here is a way out of here. And one of the last books I wrote was, Happiness is Easy. Being unhappy is what's hard. And so I took a reality check. You know, we put forth a lot of efforts to stay in situations that we know is not a good situation. We know it just, you know, most first-time heart attacks occur Monday morning
8 o'clock.
between 8 a.m.
That's true.
Folks just die to go to work. That's the way we're getting out. And so, you know, I find that happiness is a choice. If you choose to stay in a situation that's making you unhappy, own up to it.
That's right.
Stop pointing that finger at everybody else, blaming them. I'm responsible for my own happiness.
That's right.
And I've also learned that the best way for me to be happy is to be honest with myself. I am the most selfish person you're ever going to be. Unlike everybody else, I don't lie about it. I mess up. You know, when you get on the plane, the oxygen mask drop from the ceiling, what the folks gonna say? You
Put it on first.
Put it on yourself first.
Oh! Yet we go through life, and the only time anybody ever called me selfish is when I'm not doing what they want me to do.
Oh,
You know?
okay.
So it's all about getting out. If I'm in a relationship that I don't like, that's not working for me, I got.
Hey!
Thank you.